I watched my uncle's mansion through the iron gates, every window glowing warm, while my father's funeral bill sat unpaid on our kitchen table. He didn't come to the funeral. Didn't call. Didn't send flowers. My father's only brother, the millionaire who abandoned us the day Dad died. 3 months earlier, everything fell apart. Dad collapsed at work. Brain aneurysm. Gone before the ambulance arrived. I was 19. My sister was 15. Mom had passed when I was 12. We had nothing. Dad's job barely covered rent. No life insurance. No savings. I called Uncle Richard that night. I called 17 times over the next week. Dad never talked about Richard much. Your uncle made different choices, he'd say. That's it. I knew they'd built a business together in their 20s. I knew Richard bought Dad out for almost nothing. I knew that business became a multi-million-dollar tech company. And I knew Dad never asked him for a cent. Pride, maybe. Or something deeper I didn't understand. I went to his office. The receptionist wouldn't let me pass the lobby. Mr. Chen doesn't take unscheduled visits. I'm his nephew. My father just died. Her expression didn't change. I'll pass along your message. I saw him, though. Through the glass elevator. Going up. He saw me too. And he looked away. The eviction notice came 6 weeks after Dad's funeral. My sister Emma cried herself to sleep every night. I was working 2 jobs, barely keeping us fed. The funeral home started calling about the unpaid balance. $8,000. It might as well have been $1 million. Then the lawyer called. I'm calling regarding the estate of Richard Chen. My heart stopped. Estate? Yes. Mr. Chen passed away 3 days ago. Heart attack. You're listed as a beneficiary. I couldn't breathe. Richard was dead? The invitation came by courier. Heavy card stock. Gold lettering. A funeral fit for a millionaire. Everything my father didn't get. I almost didn't go. Emma said, you should. Maybe you'll finally get answers. Answers to what? Why he hated us. The service was at his estate. The same mansion I'd stood outside in the rain. People in designer black. Champagne on silver trays. I wore Dad's old suit. It smelled like him. Everyone looked at me like I didn't belong. They were right. After the service, the lawyer pulled me aside. There's something you need to know before the will reading. I don't want his money, I said. And I meant it. This isn't about money. It's about your father. He handed me a folder. Richard made me promise to give you this only after he died. Inside were bank statements. Dozens of them. All in my father's name. $5,000. Every single month. For 15 years. Deposited into an account in Dad's name. An account I never knew existed. Your uncle set this up the month your mother died, the lawyer said. Your father never accessed it. Not once. I couldn't process it. Why wouldn't Dad use it? The lawyer handed me another box. Letters. Hundreds of them. From Richard to my dad. All returned unopened. I read one with shaking hands. James, I know you're too proud to cash the checks. The money is there. For the kids. For emergencies. Please. I can't undo the past, but I can do this. Let me do this. Dated 3 weeks after Mom's funeral. The lawyer told me the rest. Richard hadn't cheated Dad. Dad had cancer, 20 years ago. Experimental treatment. Not covered by insurance. Richard sold everything he owned to pay for it. When the treatment worked, they had nothing left. Richard asked Dad to let him buy out Dad's half of the company for cheap. I'll pay you back 10 times over when we make it, Richard had promised. They did make it. Richard tried to pay Dad back. Dad refused. You saved my life. I won't take your success too. They fought. Dad cut him off. Richard tried for years. The monthly deposits. The letters. The trust fund. All rejected. Dad never told me any of this. He let me think Richard abandoned us. There's one more thing, the lawyer said. Richard's will. He left everything to education trusts. For me. For Emma. Full ride to any university we wanted. Living expenses included. Graduate school paid for. He attended every one of your school plays, the lawyer said quietly. Every parent-teacher conference your father couldn't make it to. He sat in the back. Left before you could see him. Your father made him promise never to reveal himself. There's one more thing, the lawyer said. Richard's will. He left everything to education trusts. For me. For Emma. Full ride to any university we wanted. Living expenses included. Graduate school paid for. He attended every one of your school plays, the lawyer said quietly. Every parent-teacher conference your father couldn't make it to. He sat in the back. Left before you could see him. Your father made him promise never to reveal himself. I went to Dad's grave that night. Why didn't you tell me? I whispered. But I knew why. Pride. Love. The complexity of brothers. Dad wanted us to make it on our own. Richard wanted to give us everything he never had. Both of them were stubborn. Both of them were trying to protect us in their own way. Both of them loved us more than their own pain. I used Richard's money for one thing first. To move Dad to the plot next to Richard's. The brothers who couldn't reconcile in life. Together in death. Emma got into MIT that spring. I enrolled in business school. Richard's business school. The lawyer gave me one last envelope. Richard's handwriting. Your father was the better man. He saved my soul when we were young. I only saved his life. Use this money to be like him, not me. And tell Emma her uncle is proud of her. I always was. I wear Richard's watch now. Emma wears the necklace he left her, Mom's necklace, the one Dad had to sell. Richard bought it back years ago. Kept it safe. We'll never know what it felt like. To love someone so much you respect their right to refuse your help. To sacrifice in silence. To be erased from the story of people you die for. I thought my millionaire uncle abandoned us. The truth? He never left. He was just loving us the only way my father would allow. Some ghosts aren't hauntings. They're guardians. And some truths don't break you. They finally set you free.